This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I am your host, Gianna, and we've got Garrett here with us today. And poor guy thought he was on a Sphere Rocket call, and I was able to rope him in to telling me about his experience with EXP and being an Icon agent. And Garrett, thanks for your flexibility, and we're excited to get to know you. Okay, well, Garrett, thanks for your flexibility and being willing to share your story. So give us a little bit of background. Who are you? What market are you in? How did you find yourself becoming a real estate agent?
Oh, wow. So I have been in the business for, this is my 10th year.
Okay.
I'm a Navy vet. So I was in the military. I got out.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I was actually bartending and going to college, and one of my regulars who's been in the business for a while, does a lot of commercial deals, convinced me to go get my real estate license. And honestly, I'd never thought about real estate prior. So I went and got it, and, I went through the whole rigmarole of new agents, being a new agent, a couple different brokerages the first couple of years. Finished my degrees at Sam Houston State and in the medical field. I have a pre-med degree and a nutrition degree. So
wow.
Nothing to do with real estate or business. Then just one thing led to another. I worked for a couple big property management firms here in the Houston area, and that just kind of, led me into different pathways. I started my own brokerage back in 2017. Had a business partner, and then Hurricane Harvey hit. So that went away, and I was actually at a fireside chat with Club Wealth, the CEO of Club Wealth, Michael Heckleson, something like that, and a couple local agents talking about navigating post-flood real estate. It was a quaint little, like 12, 15 people, person, like little fireside chat. That's where I met my upline now, Brian Matheson and Rick Ramus.
Okay.
And they saw me, they were asking me what I was doing in real estate, and I told them I lost my whole ship during Harvey. As a startup brokerage, we didn't have anything rolling at the time. So joined up with them, and it's been, I'm on 4.5 years ago. So it was really
awesome.
Stock was like $2. I didn't get in with the old school with like 10 cents, but $2 still.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So in the meantime, I was on a team. I left the team, and I actually put real estate on the back burner. And I had a medical company that I was running, and then COVID hit, the shutdown, that went bye-bye. And luckily, I still maintained my license, did all that, and the last 2 years have been insane.
That's awesome. And Garrett, so you said you were kind of introduced to EXP through some friends, people you knew, like, and trusted, and I'm sure that was tough, coming from having your own brokerage, but You jumped back into it. So what are some things, now that you're over at EXP that you were pleasantly surprised by? Because we've talked about stock options, there's rev share, collaboration, but what is something you've found yourself, enjoying about EXP that maybe you didn't expect in the first place?
So I'm a certified mentor with EXP. Okay.
Okay.
That's something I love. I enjoy. I love like watching, people prosper and flourish and become successful.
Mm-hmm.
That really drives me. Um, and I teach all my mentees one very important thing is you got to treat real estate. If you're going to be successful, you got to treat it like a business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can't come in just willy nilly and, I'm going to sell one or two houses here and there. And you don't really, it's good because there's a lot of people that do that as a hobby. It's just the nature of the beast. But if they really want to make a life and a career out of it, they got to treat it like a business.
Mm-hmm.
And with EXP, there's no other company that offers multiple streams of income, which any financial wealth person says, hey, what do you need? You need multiple streams of income. Well, EXP offers 3 right off the bat.
That's right.
So there's 3 out of your 7 right there. But it's more business oriented. It's more business structured for people to have, to be able to, you can recruit, you can sell houses, you can do a mixture of both, you can buy stock, you can be an investor. There's so many different avenues that you have that correlate with running a business.
Right.
So that to me is really, when I joined EXP, I didn't really put all this stuff into context. I really didn't know it all.
Mm-hmm.
I was, like I said, on a sinking ship, and I had to jump ship, and I think I made a good choice. But
absolutely, I think you absolutely made a good choice. And talking about 3 streams of income, a lot of people have been able to take huge advantage of those, and EXP is probably the only brokerage that I know that provides that stock option and earning your cap back, which is really cool. And Garrett, before we dive into more of the Icon Award, I'd like to know, with how crazy your production is, sounds like you've got a lot of business experience and you're a busy guy. So how do you take care of yourself? How do you recharge and chase this work-life balance that everybody's talking about?
Well, I'm in gym clothes. So
you what?
I'm in my gym clothes. So,
Uh-huh.
I do make time for myself throughout my day. I do block off time to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I get up in the morning. I get my, priority stuff done in the morning, and then I block off a time to go do something for me, and that's stay in shape and work out and be healthy. And then, I have the afternoon, early evening to do whatever I need to do that day.
Yeah, don't let this blazer fool you. I'm in my gym clothes too. That's the best part of being on video. But Garrett, that's really cool. Finding the the health and fitness kind of recharges you, refuels you. Do you use like time blocking or anything, or are you on your phone pretty much 24/7 for your clients and mentees and whatever else?
Yeah, I'm I'll go sit by the pool with my iPad and answer emails.
Hey, that's a good way to do it.
And being a virtual brokerage, that's obviously another benefit that we've been way ahead of the game, since inception. We're able to take our platform virtually, and we have been. And so I can go on vacation with the family. I can go, take the kids to the park or the pool and stuff during the summer, and still be productive.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's really cool. And being able to build your own schedule is a huge benefit to not only the brokerage of EXP, but also the industry. If you're self-driven and able to, separate business from play and, kind of have that self-discipline to make sure you're doing both.
Yes, ma'am.
And Garrett, so let's dive into the Icon Award. You have to hit a certain amount of production and be able to hit your cap. So what's like the average home price in your market? How many houses do you have to sell to cap?
So the average home price in my market is, I just did this on, it was like 524 or something like that.
Mhm.
Now I'm north of Houston. So I service Houston and surrounding areas, but I'm on the north side, in the Woodlands, Texas,
Mhm.
which second year in a row is the most desirable place to live. I don't know what cool. Anyway, that's a cool, thing, but I'll take it.
Hey, but it is. Yeah, that's just fact. Perfect.
Yeah, we have the Exxon home office headquarters, the mega campus.
Mhm.
It's 2 exits down the road. We have HP headquarters in here. We have so many. We have a lot of healthcare. We have a mini medical center right here, and so we have a lot of different industries and fields that attract people to this area.
Yeah.
So our price point on the average, I think the national average was 375 ish.
Okay.
And so we're a little higher than the national average, but we do have sub markets surrounding where I live. We have sub markets that are first time home buyer areas and middle, a little bit less than that. So
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, great. And Garrett, we touched on it a little bit, but with iconing, there's also that cultural commitment, and you have chosen to do mentorship.
yeah, it just worked out because I've been a mentor for the last 4 years.
Okay.
So that's kind of kept me connected with real estate and people. And I mean, the connections, I say, the one thing that if you were to ask me what's led to my icon over the last 2 years or whatever, and it's really the relationships I've built.
Yeah.
Like I said, I bartended at a local, like a restaurant bar, and it was a little bit more high end, Tommy Bahama, and I still have, and I haven't been there in, I can't remember how long ago, but I still have people who call me from there, my regulars that call me and want me to sell their house, sell their lot, sell their land. I've met developers, and that's really what happened. I got an investor, a few investors from there, and they do development deals. So
Yeah.
we're building. It's crazy, like all the different avenues that you can take from this. But
Oh, absolutely. And you are in the business of selling homes, but more importantly, you're in the industry of people. So
yeah,
that's really cool to have, such old relationships surfacing and investing in you and, bringing business still.
mm-hmm.
More than just 20% tips for some beers.
Yeah, I tell you, that's a hustle.
I know it. I'm sure. And Garrett, for my last part of the icon question, what's your favorite benefit? You get your cap back in stock, the opportunity to go to EXP Con, shareholders. We got to explore Universal Studios this year, completely
Yeah.
rented out, which is so cool. And you get a big glass shiny trophy. So what's your favorite benefit of being an icon agent?
I got shows.
There it is.
And I'd like to thank all my fans. No, I'm just kidding.
Give your speech, Garrett. This is your moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many benefits to it. I mean, it is, it's like that feather in your cap, right? You get to, you walk around, you're like, oh, he's an icon agent. Right?
Mhm.
You see that little, at the shareholder summit, we got that little tag that we put at the bottom of our name tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had people just come up and talk to me about being an icon agent. What does it take? What is it? All this other stuff. I mean, we sat down and had a breakfast with a group of young agents and talked about, what are the things that do this.
And Garrett, that's actually a great transition into my next question of for a rookie agent or for somebody just coming over to EXP, what does it take to icon? Is it possible to do in your first year? Dive into that a little more since we were already headed that direction.
Definitely. And I've met a couple people that have knocked it out of the park their first year. Which, I think with our business model, this is an easier platform to do than, most, you think about the traditional real estate, progress. You join, you go into, you get licensed and you data dump 90% of that, right? So you don't really know what you're doing. But you go and you do 6 months of, some in-house training, and they kind of get you, and then you're basically at the mercy of your team leader who's going to be feeding you leads, and so you're working all these things. I think that the key to obtaining Icon is just putting it out there.
Yeah.
When I started, social media was not that big of a deal. It was 10 years ago. We didn't have social media platforms, we didn't have MySpace, but yeah, basically going. But it wasn't the big platforms that they are today, right? So getting yourself out there was a little bit more. It was the sphere of influence of personal relationships. It wasn't just blasting yourself out there in the world. So I think now it's a little easier to do that. It does take a lot of content and the right stuff, and especially with all the social media marketing and all the tools that we have to be able to promote yourself and get yourself out there. I think it's a lot easier now. So, but the other thing too is I cut my teeth on doing leases. So I've done probably 1,000 leases in my career.
Yeah.
And from those leases, I've turned them into sales, and so now I still take leases, and I'll go do a $1,500 lease.
Yeah, because that's still money. That's still a transaction, and those leases turn into home buyers in the next 2 to 5 years, right? So that's a good tactic, especially for those listening, looking to eventually Icon. Don't say no to the little deals because they turn into bigger deals.
One of my really good friends, Rachel Howell, and we worked at a property management company together 4 or 5 years ago. I can't remember when it was, but we worked there, and come to find out, she joined EXP. I saw her at the shareholder, and we're talking about it, and that's how she gets Icon. She takes leases. She has investors. She has regular resale, stuff, and then she still does leases, which adds her transactions and gets her to that, cap fee.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it counts, right? And I've only had the pleasure of talking to one Icon agent so far that has Icon specifically only on rentals and leases.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. It's a possibility. The paperwork is much shorter. Not so much, the checks aren't as big, but there's not so much length to the process.
Right. Sales cycle's a lot shorter.
Yeah, absolutely. And Garrett, we're creeping up on 20 minutes here, so I'll bring you to my last question. It's kind of 2 parts, but were you ever skeptical of EXP? Were you nervous to make the jump?
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially at the beginning. So I joined, like I said, 4.5 years ago. I think I was like around 6,000, 6,500. So we're still pretty unknown. And then, just like with anything, it's the MLM stench.
Yeah.
Hey, I got an opportunity for you. Everybody's been pitched the MLM thing, right? So transitioning their mindset from, Amway or whatever it is to, hey, we're still selling real estate. It's still, we're not doing anything different. We're not trying to sell you a beauty product or something that you really don't need.
Right.
You got to have a house. You got to live somewhere.
You
right?
do.
So transitioning the mindset and getting them out and changing the verbiage from, hey, here's an opportunity, here's a this, here's a that, no, I change it. And just like I said at the beginning of the podcast was, I make them see it from a business standpoint. Here's a business, no, I don't say opportunity because that just throws people off, right? But, you want multiple streams of income. Here's a business. You're a real estate agent. Let's talk about how we can, grow your wealth.
Right.
Not just live commission check to commission check, but actually grow your wealth. So getting over that hump was a big challenge. Now, I was going to use Chick-fil-A as a reference. I used to work at Chick-fil-A. And back then, nobody knew who Chick-fil-A was. And, hindsight, I could have stayed with Chick-fil-A. I could have owned 2 Chick-fil-A's by now, and be not even know real estate. But life led me here. It's the same thing. Nobody knew EXP back in the day, and now we have huge teams moving brokerages, moving their, couple hundred agents over. It's crazy. National and worldwide. I mean, it's nuts.
It is. It's crazy. It's the fastest growing real estate brokerage out there right now. And Garrett, for anybody watching, whether they're, just got licensed or maybe they've had some skin in the game in real estate in a while, and they're looking at making the jump to EXP, but they hear things like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, it's a cult, don't drink the Kool-Aid. So what would you have to say to somebody watching right now, or maybe even you in the past who was a little skeptical of making that jump? What's some advice for making the leap?
Probably a bad mentor for saying this, but I always say, look, EXP for everybody. Let me show it to you. Let me present it to you. See if it works for you. I mentor a lot of agents under EXP. I also mentor a lot of people that are not with EXP. Yeah. And so, look, if this doesn't fit, now I have had a lot of people who went elsewhere and they most of the time, they always end up back at EXP.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. It's not for everyone. You're not a bad mentor for saying that, but you owe it to yourself to do some research and, reach out to Garrett if you're interested. Think that that's somebody that, you can get along with. You got similar goals and drives. And because everybody at EXP is excited to share their secrets, he mentors more than just EXP. And so this would be a great opportunity to get involved with Garrett.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Garrett, that's all my questions for you today. Coming up on 25 minutes here, do you have anything you want to leave the listeners with as we wrap up today?
No, just thank you for what you do.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being flexible and hopping on this podcast with me. I really appreciate it. And will you be at EXPCon?
I already signed up and registered, so
perfect. Good. Well, I plan on seeing you there, Garrett. And thank you for your time today. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.